What up, guys? Kevin here. Breaking, absolute breaking news from the breaking news story of the year. Microsoft trying to buy Activision Blizzard, and FTC, they didn't block it. They're seeking a lawsuit to block it. And it still looks like the deal's going to go through if Xbox wants to put up the fight. People are saying the FTC lied. Some are saying they didn't lie, but they were wrong about misleading the European regulators on what they were going to do with Bethesda games. And yeah, the European Commission had to come out and say they didn't mislead. They did not mislead. I don't think it was ever brought up what they were going to have to do with the games. But obviously we're standing at where, yeah, this deal might take a while, and Microsoft, I believe, is just trying to make concessions, to get this deal through. So breaking news, Microsoft has reportedly offered Sony the right to put Call of Duty on PS Plus. The concession is said to be the latest made to the U.S. regulator in an attempt to ease concerns. From VGC charts, I do believe I saw that the Sony didn't accept the deal. Yeah, to appease the U.S. FTC. I believe this was made before the deal, right? Yeah, so it didn't matter. And Sony didn't sign it. Yeah, the publication claims that Microsoft has offered the concession in addition to its 10-year offer to release the franchise on PlayStation consoles. It recently entered a similar agreement with Nintendo. Obviously, I don't think you're going to put Call of Duty on their eShop. Maybe they have to. Maybe they will have to. Yeah, so Bloomberg understands that Sony has yet to accept the deal as it continues to fight against a merger which would see Microsoft take control of the industry's largest third party and largest franchise. Yeah. The longer Sony doesn't do anything, like they obviously don't want to make a deal, and the more it looks like this deal is going to go through, I mean, Microsoft just has to put up a fight. There's like some third party out there, who knows who it was, that wrote to, I believe, the European Commissioner, just explaining, like 10 pages, just explaining why this deal is great for consumers. And some are saying it's a better argument than what Xbox is making. No thanks. So, I think this is smart on Xbox. Obviously, it sounds stupid. I mean, when I first read it, I'm like, really? You're going that far to put Call of Duty on PS Plus? But the way I look at it, and that's why we're here for my thoughts, it's been apparent. Microsoft has been calling Sony out for years that they don't put their games day and date on console. And that's where the beef is with, I mean, there's a lot of beef now between Xbox and Sony. But if they do this, where Call of Duty has to go on PS Plus, I would think that would have to be a deal worked out, right? Like, hey, we can put this on PS Plus, but a deal like that would cost millions, if not billions of dollars to do that. I would think that would have to be one of the stipulations, like, hey, we can't just put it on PS Plus. But let's take it a step further. Let's just say they have to put it on PS Plus. Like, hey, we're going to put it on Game Pass day one and PS Plus day one, and Sony doesn't have to spend like a dime to do it. That would help. Might not help Microsoft. It might just make Sony a better company. But that would help build their argument that, hey, this really is about all of us all together on gaming, playing these great games on a low price on the platform you want. And if I'm Sony, I would maybe make that case like, hey, okay, they're going to have to take a deal at some point because the deal's going to go through if Xbox is going to fight it. Of course, I'm just a nobody, don't know anything about law or any of this stuff, but the arguments I'm seeing from the FTC and then a lot of people backing Xbox besides Sony, just seems like if they're going to fight it, they're going to win. But it would help Microsoft go, hey, this is what the future is. It's subscriptions, so much so that we're even going to put Call of Duty on PlayStation Plus. And then the 4D chess, that may work out this way. I don't know. I just see it's going to really force PlayStation users to adopt the subscription model. I think Sony's trying to hold on to this premium. You come here, you buy our console, and if you don't buy it in time, we're going to raise the price of the console. We're going to raise the price of our games to $70, and that's the only way you can play them day one is if you give us $70. And then for Microsoft to come in and be like, here's the biggest game in the world, free on PlayStation Plus. You don't have to give Sony $70, whatever the cost of extra and premium. And that's going to really just turn the tide of, yeah, we don't want to buy games anymore. Because what is it out there with Xbox? Xbox users don't buy games. We wait for them to come to Game Pass. And Call of Duty on PlayStation Plus is really, really going to turn that fan base into Sony. I don't like paying for games. Why am I going to pay $70 for a game when I'm getting a game like Call of Duty on PlayStation Plus? Day one. And then Nintendo will just be off on their own little island. And that can backfire for Sony. Of course it would backfire for Xbox. I mean, that really doesn't benefit Game Pass. Wasn't this a benefit Game Pass? Now, that's where this deal goes through, and you do something like that, you go and make other deals. Maybe you go get someone a little bit smaller to help bolster Game Pass. Maybe those Elder Scrolls, like the FTC said, that are going to be exclusive to Xbox, that happens. And then you get like 3 or 4 big games like that on Game Pass plus Call of Duty, whereas PlayStation is only doing Call of Duty. It's still a huge win for Xbox and Game Pass, and they're going to get all the microtransactions from Call of Duty. I'm sure Sony was going to get, 30% off, whatever they take. It may not be ideal, but you are forcing Sony into the subscription model. You're basically saying, hey, bitch, this is the way we're going to do things around here. And you're going to do it with Call of Duty, and people are going to whine and complain when you try to sell them a $70 Ghost of Tsushima, God of War 6, 7, whatever they're on. Last of Us Part 3. I think that might be a smart tactic. I think that's what they're doing here. I think that's why they offered it. There's got to be a reason why they offered it, right? Because, right away, I'm like, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. It's just crazy that they would do that without... Like, what would the price be for Xbox to get Call of Duty on Game Pass? I'm sure there was an offer, and I'm sure Activision Blizzard turned it down. And then to do that for PlayStation would be a lot more money. So there would have to be some type of deal in place. Like, yeah, a game like Call of Duty, you're paying us $1 billion a year or something. But if not, I think that's their route they're taking, is they're trying to condition the PlayStation. They already conditioned the Xbox guys, like, hey, we play Xbox games day one whenever they do come out. And now they're going to condition PlayStation players to not want to pay $70 for games and just get them more angry at PlayStation. Like, hey, this is nice and all, but we want to play your games day one like we can with Call of Duty and Xbox games. So what gives? That's the only thing I can see. And right now, PlayStation is just saying no to everything, it seems like. And at some point, if they can fight this in court, Microsoft, and it goes through without any concessions, have to make any concessions, I'm pretty sure Xbox is going to be very happy and go, hey, we're going to take the money that we would have made on PlayStation, we're going to give that to Nintendo and take it off PlayStation. We gave you deal after deal after deal, and you shut it down, and then you also fought this deal from going through. Yeah, screw off. Screw off, Sony. I don't think that will happen, but I think there's going to be some type of retaliation from Xbox over how Sony has been acting in this deal. Not saying Xbox has been perfect themselves, but You know, it's going to take that type of Xbox to start winning. It's going to take that type of mentality of, you know, you stepped in our way so much over this deal that we have to make you pay. We're going to make you pay by going out and making the best games, bringing more games to our customers, and just leaving you guys out when we can, and signing more second party deals. We're going to take the Sony playbook and do it times 10. And they should have been doing that from the beginning. Oh well, the Kumbaya phase is over. I'm glad to see it. And cool. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you later. Later.